You may have seen or read some noise about a new wallet called REFORM. The material they use is part of the mystery. We have both their RE01 and the RE02, the RE01 and the RE02, on the desk today, so let's take a look. Here we go. We have the REFORM 1 and the REFORM 2, the RE01 and the RE02. They both come in very similar packaging, so let's get them open here. Got some Ziplocs happening here. Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at both of these in detail, of course, but you get a good feel for it. Out of the package, we'll set this aside. Let's get into its companion. Okay. Well, really, what's the difference here, folks? Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. And no, they don't come in other colors yet, but the material is interesting. But I think you've experienced it before. Just so we're straight, this is the RE01, the RE01, and this is the RE02. So let's move into this one first. This is the coin sleeve. It's the RE01. And if we look at it, it has an exterior card slot right here. We'll pull this propaganda out. And so you can see, it only comes in black right now. I know, it's tragic. But you have an exterior quick access card slot right here. If we come into the interior, we'll notice, oh, Mark, what's going on right here? Well, this is an external coin pouch. Grab it, open it, and there you go. We have hinges. It's a hinged metal closure right here. And by pinching it, you're able to open it. And of course, because it has the flex on it, it will come right back into place. Coins, keys, air tags. I mean, it's a fairly large pouch in here. And so you can see how well it handles. If we go further, we can see we have two more internal card slots. One right here. It's short. So putting a card in here is going to be a bit tough. And really, this is for cash. Your card slot is right here on the opposite side of it. So more propaganda. We'll get this out. And there you see all that you have in this small little bifold. Bringing in the RE02, we have an external card slot on it as well. So they both carry the same there. Nothing else. There are no hinges on this one. This is the card holder. And so what we have on the interior are two additional card slots. Capacity, 1 to 2 each, but we will notice that they have a magnetic closure on this one. And I neglected to tell you, but also on the 01. So as it gets closer, and these magnets are up here in the corners. They're right here on, and this is metal, so this handles it just fine with the coin. On this one, you've got opposite little pieces of metal, this very small piece right here and here that handle what's coming in from the other side. And we get the good clicking going on. Of course, you'd have to fold cash twice to get things in here. And let's take out the RE02 material, and that is what you have. So if we look at both of these together, you can see their measurements. Slightly different in size, and their weights. Obviously, the coin one is heavier because the metal that's involved, 40 grams to 28. Now let's see how they perform, and then we'll get to what this is made of. Both are designed in Germany and made in some mystery country that I can't find in any of their company or boxing material. The material is what they call REFINE, RE:"fine, which is a custom chlorosulfonated polyethylene synthetic rubber. What the what? Yeah, that's what it is. It's quite the mouthful. This provides not only great tactile feel, which it really does, has a nice tooth to it, can't really complain too much about it, and it really is easy on the touch as well. So it's very flexible, except for, of course, our little coin pouch right here. And let's see how this does by way of coins. So we've got 6 in there, and I'm really putting a lot of pressure on this. Seems to handle it just well, but if you put too many in here and it becomes bulgy, then they'll start coming out. So that's the point. You've got to be careful. They all need to be able to lay flat. Back to the material. So it's durable against chemicals, temperature extremes, ultraviolet light, you know, if you're exposed to those things on a daily basis. If this sounds familiar to you, it's because Hypalon is also a CPS rubber. It does not stretch like we see with leather when you add more cards to it over time. So it has a good rebound and doesn't deflect much. It's used for military boats, sailing equipment. It's made to take a lot of beating and a lot of, you know, really stress, and so it's very durable. And they claim the material is 10 times stronger than leather. We'll see about that. And if you're looking for a vegan option, this also checks that box. Now, if the wallets happen to be defective, they'll replace them for free. Now let's see how the coin pouch and these hinges are maintained. So right in here, we can see that hello coins, that the material folds over and then it's heat sealed, it's heat welded in here. So, you know, there's no sewing in this whatsoever on either wallet except for these points right here, which I really quite like. They add some design character to it, as well as some reinforcement for the corners right here so they don't kind of pull away. But otherwise, it's all folded or heat sealed for completion. From a pricing perspective, the R01 is $108 and the 2 is $97. Now these are retail prices, but they do have major discounting happening as of this recording if you're interested. Now visually, I really quite like these. I wish they'd come in different colors because that would be really attractive. And again, I like these marks here, you know, for branding purposes as well as practical purposes for reinforcement. You also won't see their name plastered all over the place on this. It's just a very indescript right here is where you actually see their name. So it keeps it very indiscreet, and this is all a bit kind of pioneer carry-esque with you know, how they're missing the branding on the exterior of the wallet and also the look and feel as well as some of these other elements. Now, due to the material, I mentioned there's a good tactile feel here. It's not super rubbery by way of its grip, but if you are trying to, you know, squeeze these into really tight pants, you might have some issues, or some, you know, obscure places in your backpack. Trying to get it out might be a little bit challenging. If we come back to the coin version here, and you really have to open this up on this side to get to the coins. It's hard to do that. This really has a lot of tension to it, and it takes a bit to get it open. I mean, that guarantees that coins aren't going to go flying around or things like that. But if this hinge breaks for some reason, then yeah, I mean, you will have issues. But that's with anything that's mechanical. You have to be careful about that. Now on the R02, objectively, this is a very simple card wallet, which isn't utilizing an external side for something useful, like right here. I mean, you've got cards in all the other places. There is no external card slot on the coin version because of the coins, but something's missing here. I mean, there could be another opportunity for something else to go here. And the heat sealing, we've seen this similar with some Pioneer Carry, the DACA wallet from Magpul, for example, and even the Apex line wallets from Bellroy use leather in this case, but heat sealing in order to achieve that thinner as well as that more streamlined look. Overall, as a minimalist wallet, I like them, but the card holder could use something else right here still. Now that that's over, on to the final score. Final scores for both were the same when it came right down to it. Quality of 4, price of 2, pretty expensive. Features of 3, usability of 4, very easy to use, not a lot of stress there. You know, the coin pouch opening is actually really good, and it provides that tension you need and you want. And perception of 3, they're a new startup, we'll see how they perform. That gives us a final score for both of 34 out of 50. If you like this video, then we strongly recommend and encourage you to watch this one next. We'll see you in the next review. Bye.